Hi, Hamish Conway here, and welcome to another episode of Tacos Tuesday. And if you're watching this, you'll notice that I'm coming to you from Sydney. This is Darling Harbour in the background, and a pretty nice day here. And this intro is a little bit different because I'm interviewing Michael Fenech. And Michael Fenech is an amazing entrepreneur. He's been in the Amazon ecosystem for over a decade, selling himself on the platform in the US, and also what he's mainly been doing is getting into the logistics space and helping brands simplify, save costs and around logistics. And today we're going to talk through how he does this. AI is a big part of this. He's been doing AI for the last 5 years, and he's come up with a program here, an AI agent, that is super interesting. But just the breadth of his knowledge and just the way he thinks around solving problems is fascinating. So I think you're really going to enjoy this conversation here with Michael Fenech. Just before we dive in, I want to share one thing with you. This podcast is about Amazon ads, obviously, and coming up on August the 13th, which is a Thursday at 11 a.m, we're doing our first Amazon Marketing Cloud Masterclass. And if you want to find out what the new rules of advertising on Amazon are, then you will want to be on this masterclass, and we'll be sharing around things like how lifetime value matters, how to know which of your products is the gateway ASIN, which campaigns are driving the highest lifetime value. There's a whole new set of rules, and when you see this, you will not be able to unsee it. It is just a different way of playing the game, and if you do this right, you will have an unfair advantage over your competition. So I'd really encourage you to get onto that. We'll put the go to gosellglobal.com and scroll down the page. You'll find the button to register for that, but also we'll put it in the show notes here. So do that, and then dive right into this episode here with Michael Fenech. Michael, you've built tools for Amazon. You've built communities of sellers around the Amazon game. You've got 48,000 followers on Instagram around AI. You've got shipping, logistics, business. What's the common thread through all of those things?
It's a very good question. I think the common thread is just solving problems and having solutions that customers need. You got to find a problem that's so painful that people are willing to pay you to solve it, which is one of my mentors told me many years ago. So I think if you have that mindset of solving problems, and it could be from a product perspective on Amazon, a product that solves a problem that, reduces pain. It could be anything like that. But I think if you apply that mindset, for me, that's the common thread. And if we pull on that thread, there's a lot to talk about.
I like it. Look, let's go. And that is the entrepreneurial mindset, right? Is like,
absolutely,
there's a problem. I think I can solve that.
Yep.
And then, people are willing to pay for that solution as well. So I will do more of that. But look, let's step back a bit. And, Tacos Tuesday here, we talk about Amazon. What was your introduction to Amazon?
Yes. My wife and I, we were actually drop shipping. So we had 700 products on Google Shopping.
Right.
And we were adding 10 products a day now, drop shipping back in the day in 2018. It was all about testing Facebook ads. And then when a particular product starts selling, you scale up the ad.
Yeah.
So we wrote scripts in Google advertising in their platform to kill products that had a certain ROAS and all that sort of stuff. And we were doing quite well. It was very difficult because you had no brand built around the products and stuff. And then a friend of mine was doing some Amazon stuff. And then I looked into that and I thought, wow, it really appeals to me because you've got the branding aspect. And I'd like to think of myself as being fairly creative. So you can add your flair to the branding. And then we sort of looked into it more, learned about it, launched a test product, and we haven't looked back since. That was back in 2019 where we launched our first main product, and then we've launched another 2 products after that. And it's just been a really simple business that, 365 days a year, the product just sells. And I suppose from that aspect, we're lucky, but a lot of thought went into the product, USP and all that stuff, which I'm sure we're going to touch on.
That's interesting. Like from drop shipping where it's not your product, not your brand, and it's kind of a low friction way to get into it. But when you've got to get into, okay, what's a product here that is going to have some longevity to it? And, that's a different story. And coming up with the idea, getting it made, like learning how to buy, get a product made to your specifications in China, and then get it into Amazon. And And, I still remember the first day my products went live on Amazon. I was like, holy shit, this actually works.
Yeah.
What was it like for you when it
Well,
started?
back in the day, we had the ManyChat launch campaigns where you could give free product away. And I remember we launched it and I set up the ManyChat campaigns, which, I don't think they're very terms of service compliant at the moment.
No.
But we woke up and I went, wow, I think we had 11 sales.
Yeah.
And I went, I've just sold something to someone in America that I've never met before.
Yeah.
This is really, I mean, I know I've done it before with drop shipping, but on Amazon, and that was it. I was hooked and it was just like game on from there on in.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then that evolved into you just somehow building with Jamie, a community. And this was kind of around because COVID kind of came on the heels of this 2020 and lockdowns. And then how did that kind of evolve? Tell us about that.
Jamie and I connected through obviously, different Amazon communities and we hit it off. We just sort of had this friendship. We were just talking about tactics and e-com and business in general. And COVID hit and we sort of had a chat and said, well, let's start our own community, but let's do something different where we give all the information away for free without expecting anything in return. So we had Zoom calls every second Monday night and we would do full product reveals. So what we would do is in the time between shows, we'd research a particular niche. We'd actually speak to suppliers. We would look at costing, shipping, branding. We would develop 3D renders as well and present the product and why this would win. We'd look at competitors, you name it, USP.
Yeah.
And we were getting 700 people on a call during COVID, and it was just telling us that the market or the communities out there in Amazon wanted next level information that was essentially giving, what's the Gary Vaynerchuk, jab, jab, right hook sort of thing. So we were just constantly giving information out without expecting anything in return. And we had a few offers, we had a really good mastermind and a coaching program for a couple of years there. And then, one thing led to another and we sort of got into other areas of the e-com world and we haven't looked back. And it was really good. It was good for the community. We gave a lot of value, which was our mission.
Yeah. And there's a lesson in that, right? For people listening here, when you do give without any expectation of anything coming back, then amazing things will happen.
Energetically, I think energetically it's really good and things work out if you have that mindset, which is important. Yeah.
And also I think there's something in that kind of pressure of we've got 2 weeks, we've got to come up with something else to teach. Yeah. And as a teacher in that space, you learn. You're the one who's learning the fastest. Pretty much, aren't you?
Exactly right.
Because you want to get up knowing.
Absolutely.
So they must have accelerated your whole knowledge and around Amazon and then other connections you made from that.
In particular, product research was a big one because, I think the foundation of any Amazon business is the product you select.
Yes.
And then there's, thousands of factors within that, whether it's a competitive niche, if it's not, if it's under the radar. Is there too few search volume and all that sort of stuff? But we learned pretty quickly within the 2 weeks. We said we're going to launch a product, and we were like blank piece of paper. We thought, right, let's find a product.
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting times. Yeah,
that's cool. That's really cool. And then on the back of that, you decided to go. This is pretty ballsy, I reckon. You go, we're going to do an event. And Southern Seller Fest.
Yes.
And so talk us through that.
Yeah, well, interesting. So we had our own coaching program and a sort of real close-knit mastermind with about 300 members, and we had Olympic gold medalists as mentors, and we have shows with them and just bringing in expertise that's sort of peripherals that can help Amazon sellers. And there was a couple of times there where we were going to have internal events, but COVID cancellations and stuff, and we got stuck. And then I think we were at Jamie's house down in Melbourne. He lives down in Victoria. And we said, why don't we do our own event? Let's have a crack. And from that moment on, we were scoping out venues and we were pretty confident we could sell a good number of tickets. And then before you know it, we contracted with the ICC. Yeah. We invited probably, I think roughly off the top of my head, 14 speakers, probably 40 or 50% of those from overseas. Yeah. And then it was game on. It was Like it was a really tough lead up,
Yeah.
but worth it.
Yeah. Nothing like
Worth
when
it.
you commit, then you find a new level of energy and to take action. Nothing like a deadline.
Incredible. Like not only sort of handling all other businesses as well, but you got sponsorship, you got websites, ticketing systems, food, content, reviewing PowerPoint presentations, audio, visual, entertainment. And thank God our wives chipped in.
Yeah.
So Nicole and Rebecca, my wife, Nicole,
Yeah.
and Rebecca, Jamie's wife, they got together and took a lot of the sort of hard work off our hands in terms of the food and everything. Whereas Jamie and I solely focused on content, speakers, and basically value. We wanted people to walk away saying that's one of the best events we have ever been to. And I'm proud to say, I believe, in my opinion, that we achieved that from the feedback. Yeah,
it was amazing. Like, really good events. Yeah, you should do it again.
Well, we did 2022. We did 23. And they were big asks too. And you've got to understand too that Amazon.
Well, they do their own event.
And they do their own event. Exactly. So we had to be very wary of that. But then ultimately for 2024, Amazon actually came to us and said, hey, we love your branding. We want to do something with you in collaboration. We'll be the major sponsors, but we'll do it over in Singapore. So that was a whole new set of challenges, international, dealing with the Singaporeans who were fantastic, and the logistics of getting speakers there and the audience in Singapore, whether they'd purchased tickets, and a lot of Australians went over as well. It was a great event. Yeah. So,
good.
Look, I always say I'm a pretty lucky guy, and it always works out, and we're very lucky. But then obviously just with things happening and other businesses popping up, we kind of like just had a bit of a break from the event world, and who knows, we may do it. I highly doubt we will, but it was a great experience. And I'll never forget. I'll tell you just a very quick story about the event. So we had a thing with the event where we have an introductory video. So the first year it was like AC/DC Thunderstruck, sound blaring like a rock concert. Year 2, we did Top Gun, and that was the theme. I don't know if you were there for the second one. So all the speakers had their own call signs, like not Maverick, but But one thing that I always think of, and I'm getting goosebumps speaking about it now, the lights would dim, and I'm actually getting goosebumps, and I'd have the controller, and I'm looking around and all that hard work, and it comes down to pressing a button to start it. And it was just like a moment where I'm actually getting into the moment now, and I press the button, and then the Top Gun Maverick theme would start, and then it's on. I actually it's really interesting. Cool. I'm going back there now. Yeah. And people just say the start of those events was special. They were memorable. In Singapore, it was Mission Impossible.
Yeah, okay.
So we had, this is your mission, should you choose to accept it, and all that sort of stuff. So good times, and it was great. Networking's the best.
Yeah.
Networking's special. Where all the juice is.
Yeah, that's right. You're getting together in person. Just you have different conversations that you can never have online or on a video call. This is where the gold is. And I think any chance to get to an actual event is really cool. But I was just thinking, there was a big private label push, which was private label defining as people who were getting their own products made, putting their own brand on it, but it might be a similar product. There seems to be a bit of that. That's kind of fallen off a bit. What do you think has happened, and maybe even in the last kind of 3 years, that has had a drop off in people developing brands and selling them on Amazon?
So you're saying there's a drop off of people?
I think there has been, like as like a side gig sort of thing. I think there's less of that with the Amazon.
Yeah, look, being a successful Amazon seller, you have to be a unique individual. And you have to have thick skin, you have to have perseverance, you have to have a belief. And at the end of the day, I always think about this scenario. Like if you give say 10 people the same amount of money, they've got all the same amount of skills, similar products, realistically 2 to 3 out of the 10 are going to succeed. Yeah. Why is that?
That's the mindset.
That's the mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm really big on mindset in entrepreneurial endeavors and belief. If something happens that's a roadblock, people sometimes shy away, but other people run through the wall or climb it. It's really something that's important. And
Yeah.
I think the drop-off would be attributed to potentially, it's not Amazon, I think it's the entrepreneur. And if you get the entrepreneur piece right,
Yeah.
you can't not succeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you persevere. Now, you've got to be smart as well. Like the entrepreneur, there's a lot of different aspects to them, but they've got to be obviously resilient and sort of motivated, but they've got to have that level of intelligence to be able to be logical with their thinking.
Yes.
Like if you want to walk in and sell a water bottle in a really, you've got to be very careful with that sort of stuff. But if you want to be smart and, for example, you want to start selling aquarium gravel, that is a key word on Amazon, believe it or not, aquarium gravel, doing about $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
If you can get into those little niches and dominate with branding, that's the smart play, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go into obviously more competitive niches as well, but I think there's a lot of factors. The mindset's the big one.
Yeah. Do you think people's mindsets have been damaged in any way? Like, I don't know, like you kind of hear about through COVID, there was, that was a pretty tough time for a bunch of people. And then also maybe cost of living, or is there just the busyness of life? Or I don't know.
It could be.
Just exploring.
I'm not sure whether maybe AI has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Maybe people are a little bit sort of hesitant to put their toe in the water potentially. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but look, at the end of the day, things come in waves.
Yeah.
I mean, e-commerce is not going away.
No.
And so it's an interesting sort of time.
And we'll touch on, the AI. We're gonna go deep into that as well. But I just want to kind of follow on from the conference I went to. Your second one in 23 was when you launched SKUDrop.
Yes.
And so I remember
22.
Oh, that was 22. Oh, that was when I was at then. 23 is weird. I might have been at that as well.
Yeah.
But 22, the SKUDrop was pretty funny because like you had this live crossover.
Yeah. That was cool.
So tell people listening just about SKUDrop. And again, this is solving a problem.
Yeah.
But tell us about SKUDrop and even a little bit about doing business in China. Like, something I'm curious about.
Really interesting journey. Essentially, SKUDrop's a shipping and consolidation facility in China. So what it does, it gives brands an advantage to consolidate all their freight in one hub in China.
Yeah.
And then what you can do is through software, you can fire your arrows or your shipments anywhere around the world, depending on demand, and all managed by software. And so back in early 2021, during the sort of hard part of COVID, obviously we were noticing shipping prices going through the roof and 3PL costs, and myself, Jamie, and a few other sort of really switched on entrepreneurs from across the globe, China, the US, and a couple of more Aussie guys as well. We sat down, had a Zoom and said, well, there's a problem here. What can we do? And it was really clear that having a China or origin mindset in terms of storage really stood out to us. So then we embarked on a validation time frame. So we were looking at 3PLs in the US versus storage in China, and then that just-in-time shipping model. So weekly shipments, smaller weekly shipments. So it's like the supermarket model. If you sold 8 oranges in this week, you replenish 8 oranges. And when we did the maths, it was clear that storing in China and managing smaller shipments was far more beneficial for businesses in terms of margin and cost savings. And then from there, once we validated, we then went into building software, integrating physical warehouse with software, connecting Seller Central, creating shipping plans automatically. And then the rest is history. We had a launch and the business it solved a problem.
Yeah.
I go back to that all the
100%.
time. People weren't happy with their 3PLs. Fees were through the roof. We presented an alternative that made sense. And, a whole host of other benefits as well.
Yeah.
People, it resonated with people and we grew pretty quickly, and the business is thriving to this day.
That's good. And like we've got clients using it for Amazon specifically, but you don't need to be, it's not just the Amazon site. It's anything, right?
It could be anything. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, absolutely. So there's plenty of different options, whether you're on Amazon or not. But as a group, we kind of made a decision that we don't want to be pigeonholed just for Amazon, although that is a very lucrative silo. But if you think about freight in general, the guy who's shipping mining tyres to Western Australia, I mean, he could be our customer as well. So it's important to recognise that set of problems as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And so with SKUDrop now, you're not involved in the day-to-day of that, but you built a lot of the software.
Yeah. So I was involved in the sort of the development, the software design, integration, dealing with our developers who are a fantastic team. Obviously, all our different partners had key roles, and we all slotted into our sort of, I suppose, our wheelhouse in terms of skills.
Yeah.
And launched it, and then the business grew to a certain point, and then I've now just stepped back just to let the team continue moving SKUDrop forward, and now I can focus on other avenues and stuff as well that have got me interested, because again, I want to solve problems. And so, but it's a great model. SKUDrop's fantastic, and the team's taking it forward, and it's exciting times for brands because it solves a problem.
And I see some funny posts, more so with Jamie if he's over there a bit more.
Yeah.
But doing business in China, like, is there any kind of what's a standout story there that?
Yeah, it's it's great. I love China. I mean, I was over there for I went over there 8 or 9 times in sort of 2 years, and I actually had my own tutor. Believe not many people know this, but I actually had a tutor.
Yeah.
And I'd do 3 lessons a week, and I'd be learning Chinese.
Yeah.
And I've since stopped it because it was just like so many different things. But the fact that I learnt it and being able to speak it a little bit, I wasn't fluent, but I wasn't. I could sort of hold my own, sort of.
Yeah.
But look, to your question, doing business with the Chinese, they'll make anything happen.
Yeah.
Is kind of like the overall 50,000-foot view. They'll make anything happen. They'll do their best to make things work, and they're real goers over in China, and they're willing to do great business. And it was fantastic. Some of the client dinners we went to, and we had one particular meeting we had like with a huge forwarder, a partner of ours over there. We had lunch, and then that flowed into dinner, and they're just so relationship building focus, which is fantastic. And it's just amazing. And Yiwu in particular is a beautiful part of China.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's good.
Well, that's good. That's good. And so I touched on the technology piece. That's been your background, right? Like even before Amazon and now you talk about solving problems and AI, and this is something you've been in the weeds for 5 years already, even before most people even knew that AI was a thing, and certainly now people do. But tell us a bit about what is it that you see that a lot of other people don't, given you've had that 5 years?
Yeah, I suppose just a bit of a background. I've created tech startups 10, 15 years ago, and I have a technical background, iOS programmer, but I don't use it. But I sort of have enough knowledge to be dangerous. And AI really hooked me back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago, obviously ChatGPT. But I was thinking, not then, I was thinking, where is this going to go and what can that do? My favorite word in business is leverage.
Yeah.
How can I do more with less effort?
Yeah.
And so I felt AI could be that vehicle to allow me to do more with less effort. And then we've transitioned from simple ChatGPT. Other LLM models have come in, Anthropic, Claude, all those sorts of things. But now those models have tools that can connect to external resources and connect with other websites. Now we're cooking, because you can get a model to do something on another website. Like, for example, Notion.
Yes.
You might have some sort of system that you have to physically update Notion. Now it can do it for me. And that's where I rub my hands together and go, right, well, how can I build this and integrate this? And then agentic programming, Claude code, being able to build tools. Wow. It's an amazing time to be alive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that's good. I was just thinking there from a timing, like being able to see the future, what's coming in a timing point of view. Like you're right at the front of the queue. Did you buy Bitcoin in 2010?
No, I didn't. I actually did buy a lot of crypto, but not the Bitcoin actually, but I think 2019 I got into some certain, but not Bitcoin. I wish.
Yeah. So look, AI is on everyone's mind, right? And what do you think businesses or business owners or people in businesses, what are they getting wrong about AI at the moment?
I think business owners are thinking that AI is going to replace them or their staff.
Mm.
And I think, look, it may. And I know there's talk about Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, which is he had a tech company. They laid off 4,000 people. And he told them straight up, he said, our profitability is going up, but AI, I don't need you, basically is what he said. But I think generally at those smaller levels of business owners are thinking that it's going to replace staff. I think it's going to enhance the staff productivity and it's going to allow them to reach their potential.
Yeah.
So if they pivot and think, okay, AI is my friend.
Yes.
It's not my enemy. It's not going to replace me. It's not going to replace my staff. My lady on the front desk, she's not going to be without a job. I think if you have that mindset of it's your friend and it's going to allow people to reach their potential, do more with less effort.
Yes.
Classic example is the sales team.
Yeah.
They do a sales call. They spend 20 minutes updating a CRM, writing notes, 20 minutes gone. Do that 5 times a day.
Yeah.
We're talking hours a week. AI can allow them to solely focus on selling.
Yeah.
So what happens to the business then if they're reaching their potential?
More time in conversations that actually
exactly
do
right.
Work that moves the needle,
moving deals forward. So it's the greatest assistant you could think of.
Yeah. So I think that's a really good frame to have to it, right? And just going back to your like Jack Dorsey thing, like I heard another aspect that they had overstaffed. And they actually and it was all about like moving the share price, and it was kind of sexy or cool to say, it's AI, but in fact they had overhired, and there's a few of them needed to come back. But I mean, what has happened? And even with the Anthropic owner as well, like kind of it seems like they create a bit of fear around AI's coming for your jobs, and I was actually listening to this All In podcast, which is pretty interesting. Those guys got some pretty good context on it. And I was talking even about when desktops, PCs came, everyone thought their jobs were going to go because of the computers, but all it did was just enhance what they could do, the amount and quality of work. And maybe that's the same thing. And look, I mean, everyone is kind of guessing here, like this could be different this time, but I mean, nothing's more certain. If you go in with a fear about it, you're not going to be making the most of it. Like if you can't be in fear and abundance at the same time. But if you go, right, this has got potential here to really help me get rid of the time consuming stuff that's not really adding value. But I know it's done, and then I can go deep on the things that I'm really good at. That's the frame.
It's funny because if you think about AI, I think what it is replacing is SaaS products out there.
Yeah, well, that's
because
right.
Anthropic, for example, I think they released this financial product and there was a lot of talk on X.com was like, well, there goes another SaaS industry. And I mean, if you Google how many product releases they've done in 2026, and the list is literally that long, they are just releasing product after product. And there's been stories where there's been weeks that like $800 or $900 billion of enterprise value has dropped because of share price fear and everything, because these big large language model businesses or the legacy AI companies have that power to go, oh, there's a tool, and that whole industry is suffering, which is something to think about. But have you heard about what Salesforce did in response to that?
No.
Really interesting play. So what they did, they released a thing called Headless 360.
Yeah.
So what they did, they opened up every API endpoint of Salesforce to AI agents.
Right.
So now they've opened up their platform to a whole new silo of AI agents that don't even need the browser.
Yeah.
So they're looking at that from my perspective of what I read to handle the world we're moving towards, which we could potentially touch on, which is that multi-agent world. Yeah. Interesting times.
Isn't it? I mean, I was talking to you last week, like we use Monday.com, but it's like, well, maybe there's another way. And around
Yeah,
that, well,
yeah.
I noticed that they're starting to open up a lot of things
Now,
as well.
you're using AI fantastic in your business, which I
Yeah.
was really pleased to see. And it's not often you see that, because most of the business people I speak to with the AI consulting and stuff, they're very limited. But I was actually impressed by how far you've gone into it. And that's going to funnel through down into your clientele that are going to get the best results compared to your competitors. So,
Yeah.
from my perspective, pat on the back, mate.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll put a lot of that down to Seb.
Yeah, wow.
Normally on the show, so he's driving that.
Yeah,
Um,
awesome.
And I think so. For people listening here, I just want you to get a sense here in terms of why I got Michael on the show. Obviously, he has the Amazon background, like sells himself still, and has built communities there, so he gets Amazon. Then SKUDrop with the shipping side of things, and then with AI coming in. He's been doing that for 5 years, and technology before that. So this kind of really interesting, unique subset of skills that all kind of are coming together. And we're talking about AI and then AI agents.
Yeah.
And so you have at the moment in beta, and maybe by the time this comes out, it'll be actually active, SnipeRate, which is an AI agent to help brands with organizing their shipping and more. Tell me about what you're doing with SnipeRate and how you kind of came up with the idea. And for people listening here, whether you are a distributor for brands in Australia or you are making products in China and sending them to all parts of the world, this is relevant for you. But so tell us how you kind of thought, right, let's do this.
Again, pain to solution, sort of, it's that same arc, right? So my wife and I have an Amazon brand. We sell in the US, and we do the usual things that every other brand does. We do an order. When it's ready, we do QC checks, and then we get our shipping organised, right? So obviously we use SKUDrop, but there's a couple of SKUs that aren't in SKUDrop. So when you think about that shipping life cycle, your product's ready, you got to contact forwarders, you got to get their pricing back, you got to agree to it, you got to pay, then you got to chase them up. ETD times are delayed.
Yeah.
When's it getting to the port? Customs clearance, all that sort of stuff. It's very, very time consuming. Emails. Now, a lot of different Amazon sellers I've spoken to, generally, they have one forwarder. And I've had brands tell me that are in the beta say, I don't send emails to other forwarders because I couldn't be bothered. I don't have the time.
Yeah. Okay.
So I feel that pain, and I'm thinking, surely there's a better way. And then light bulb moment. And I said, well, okay, I'm going to build it. I'm going to build the solution. And SnipeRate was born, which essentially is an AI agent that does all your shipping. So it becomes your shipping employee.
Yeah.
So you basically just chat to it like you're chatting to a colleague who does all your shipping, and you just tell the agent what you want to send, how many cartons, where it's going to, and it does the rest.
You've set it up. You set up all the product, all the SKU details.
Yeah, exactly right. On your onboarding, you import all your products, which takes literally 20 seconds through AI.
Yeah.
Once all your product catalog's in the system, the agent knows everything about your business because it knows your carton dimensions, your CBMs, weights, units per carton, commercial value, you name it. So once it has that context, which is a really important word in AI, so it understands, once it has that context, you can send it a message, just chat to it and say, I want you to send 100 cartons of the SKU ABCD to JFK 8, which is an Amazon fulfillment center. The cargo is ready now. Send.
Yeah.
The agent then goes to work. It gets the SKU, works out CBMs, commercial values, gets everything ready in a shipment summary. And then on a press of a button, you can email your own forwarders plus an active pool of forwarders that have been vetted. So instantly you could have emailed 8 forwarders who are all quoting your shipment. But then what happens is the agent doesn't just sit there. The agent then manages the whole shipment life cycle. If a forwarder responds with a question to say, what's your HS code? Your agent, because it has context, handles it and auto answers for you.
Wow.
And so it even waits for quotes to come back. If a forwarder's slow on returning their quote, the agent chases up on your behalf. Says, hey, just chasing up this quote. Can you please give us a quote? Does that twice.
Yeah.
Quotes come back. It passes the quotes. It assesses everything and then it presents everything in a really nice UI list with a recommendation based on AI for you to make a selection. And then you've just done your quote, you've selected the forwarder. Then once you've selected the forwarder, the agent manages the shipment right up to delivery. It has a shipment timeline that it looks at, and every milestone, this estimated time of departure, the agent will chase it up as soon as that date hits on your behalf.
Yeah.
And the feedback from beta is really, really encouraging, and we're super pumped to see where this goes.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it, I thought that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's an interesting thing in around trust with AI. Is it accurate? Can I trust this? Like, so how do you deal with that?
Well, so when people join up, they get free credits to try a few shipments. Now, in any sort of, even in our SKUDrop experience, if a large brand comes on board, they're not going to ship in, 500 CBM. They're probably going to send 5 or 10 CBM and test it.
Yeah.
Once they get comfortable, then they start really pushing in some volume. And it's the same thing here. And it's quite a simple thing too. So when people start their first shipment, they'll see the shipment summary, and then very quickly they get trust because they see the leverage.
Yes.
How do I do more with less effort? So when I get an email saying, oh, hey, the forwarder's asked this question, I've responded to them, it's like, wow, I've offloaded that to an agent. By the way, has expert freight knowledge baked in.
Yeah.
It can recognize volumes. It can recommend full container loads if the volume's right.
Yeah.
It's an expert on Amazon fulfillment centers and Amazon pallet heights and all that sort of stuff as well. So trust is built pretty quickly when they do their first shipment and RFQ, request for quote, and they see quotes coming back and they go, wow, this is pretty easy. So
you can see all of the thread, all the email communication and actions taken anyway. You got a full audit log.
Yep, exactly.
Well.
So the brand has full control, but like you would deal with a employee that does the shipping, you look over their shoulder every now and then just to make sure. But it's pretty cool, and we're pumped where this is going to go because it solves a problem.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, what's that problem? Time,
mistakes,
accuracy.
Yeah.
The grunt work of having to chase up forwarders.
The cost as well.
Simple things like the agent will, when you award a shipment and it gets the invoice, the agent looks at the invoice and looks line by line and confirms, everything's right here.
As well.
So,
Right.
So
from what was quoted to.
Exactly. And it has all these other tools baked in as well. So it's pretty cool. But at the end of the day, people are paying staff to do what this agent does. And for literally a cup of coffee with our credit-based system, you can have shipments handled, whether they're full container loads or a small LCL. Yeah. And the agent does it, and it does a very good job. And again, based on the feedback, it's been very encouraging what's been happening. And like big brands have jumped in, and they're not on Amazon, but and I've just gone, wow, they've just jumped right in. And he goes, I need this because if I can get the agent to do all this, then I've got time to do all this other stuff, and then I can just check in every now and then. So it's cool.
That's good. And because, I don't know many people who are in their jobs at the moment saying, oh, yeah, I'm pretty cruisy, I've got lots of time. It seems like everyone's
exactly. Exactly right. Yeah,
absolutely to the full to the gunnels. So, all right. So just so the spelling is correct there, so it's Snipe, SNIPE RATE
.com.
.com.
SnipeRate.com.
SnipeRate.com. Cool. So go check that out.
Yeah.
And you can do a demo for people as well.
If people want to reach out to me, whether it's on Instagram or even email michael@sniperate.com. I'm happy to do a demo. In fact, I love doing demos because it really showcases the product and it gets people to see, okay, that's it, boom, I'm in. So demos are actually pretty cool to do. So if anyone wants to reach out, I'm happy to spend half an hour, 45 minutes and go for it. Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. That's good. And is your brain already like firing off on what's the next problem to solve with AI agents?
It is. And it's funny you say that because I'm doing a challenge with a good friend of mine who's in the AI space. And we had a chat the other day. I said, look, I've got so many different things that I can build. Yeah. There's got to be a way of being able to handle it. And he goes, and with his particular business, he says, I was thinking the similar thing, but I've actually pared it back to one thing now. He goes, let's do a challenge. The next 3 months, let's just focus on one thing and see where we land. Yeah. So I'm going to take the challenge on. Yep. It's going to kill me because I'm a very inquisitive person. My wife's got a beauty salon and I see what she does, and I've built her a really interesting tool to handle social media posting. And there's another thing that she misses phone calls, and my head's, the cogs in my brain are going, okay, I built an AI voice agent. It's got full context on her business, and then that agent can answer her phone. I'm thinking, well, I've got to actually slow down because I'm so inquisitive, and I see problems and I go, I can solve them.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge, which is, I've just been like that my whole life. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good.
It's good talent. Good talent.
Well,
good skill to have.
If they work, it's good.
And because you're also then doing some consulting as well for companies, helping them integrate AI into their businesses as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So just doing that, and the biggest thing and you know about this because your AI integration's fantastic, but businesses can remove bottlenecks. Removing bottlenecks, allowing people to reach their potential is what it's all about. So you'd be amazed at how many people do things in business that are so manual, and it's so 20 years ago. But it's we help out, so it's good. It's pretty cool.
And I'm curious, how have you used AI, if at all, with your Instagram, like to get to 48,000 followers? And is that just been since AI, or did it used to be about Amazon and then morphed into AI?
So it was really funny. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my social media posting. I thought there's something there, and I decided back in the day I had video editors, and I just decided to just post. What my mindset was this. Every video I make, I need to feel as though the people's going to go, no way, that is unbelievable. That was my goal. And I would try to get that reaction. And back in the day, the early ChatGPT stuff, how to make ChatGPT your personal sort of assistant and all that sort of stuff. Here's the prompt to use. And they just went off. There was some posts that got like 1.5 million views and 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
And so I did have a little bit of a break there because I was just sort of obviously SKUDrop stuff and then moving into the AI stuff as well. And now I'm starting to get back into it. So TikTok and Instagram, and so it's pretty cool.
That's right. Your LinkedIn's not very good.
I know. I'm getting into it. It's improving. I'm hopefully going to improve it. I know. It's not very good. I know. I totally get it. But
there must be an agent for that. And,
I know. I should. Yeah. So I can't think about that, but I'm only on one thing at the moment.
I like it.
That's
The of the entrepreneur is like too many ideas, but you're right. Yeah, if you can just focus and go deep, and then you're going to get the actual result.
I will solve that problem. Because this is the interesting thing, and I don't want to sort of go off on a tangent, but I think you'll appreciate the fact that the economics of experimentation with AI are zero.
Right.
So I'll say that again. It's really important. The economics of experimentation with AI are zero.
So zero cost.
What does that mean? So back in the day, 2009, 2010, my brother and I co-founded a startup. And we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on developers. We built a team. We went over to America, did a Series A, did all that, right? And it was a really good product.
Yeah.
But to get to that point was a lot of money, a lot of risk. We're building something we don't know is going to work.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward to 2026, I could build that product in 2 hours.
It's ridiculous, right?
And it's not an exaggeration. I could build it in 2 hours. So now the economics of experimentation means I could build a SaaS product every month.
Yeah.
But what's stopping me? I'll see if you can guess.
Focus. Lack of focus.
Yeah, that. But the major thing is distribution.
Yes. Okay.
You can't sell a secret.
No.
I might have the best SaaS product that solves a problem, but if I'm building 5 other products and I can't distribute it, what's the point?
Yeah.
So I think, and I don't know, even think about it, you might be able to help me solve it, and then maybe we can launch it, right? There's got to be a way that we can actually have some sort of agency or some sort of thing, house, group, whatever, where the economics of experimentation can be tested.
Yeah.
And then when something takes off, there's focus.
Yeah.
But I don't know the answer, but it might come to me. The universe, I don't know.
I know.
Do your thing, universe, wherever you are. But that's really interesting.
Was someone, actually, Pip, who works for us, she was saying the idea that instead of there being like software companies, as software projects, it's almost to that degree at the moment, because you can get it up and running quickly.
Exactly.
But it could also finish quickly as other people leapfrog it. But I think it does come back to your point of distribution and audience.
Yep.
Like it's got to be solving a problem for a specific audience, and then getting in front of that audience, and then they can use it. And as long as they're benefiting from it, and then you'll continue to get paid.
And I think a big thing too is validation too. Like you got to validate it. How do you validate it? Reddit's a really good idea, really good to validate certain things. You can go to, like if I don't know, if it's a tattoo product or something, you can go into tattoo threads and you can look at what people are complaining about.
Yeah.
That recurring problem. Ooh, okay, interesting. Now, with the stuff I generally build and launch, I'm the ICP, the ideal customer profile. So I'm very understanding of the pain points. But when it's something that's like, I'm not the ICP, you've got to validate. Otherwise, you're going to make mistakes. And then from there, beta testing and getting people to give you feedback. Like the feedback we've got for SnipeRate is unbelievable.
How good.
Now, I'm in that world, but I'm not behind the desk in a brand knowing what they need. And it's been tremendous. I'm all ears and just, and then literally build it within half an hour and launch it because you can.
make the changes.
Exactly.
So good.
It's interesting world.
Yeah. And what else as we kind of near the end here? So from obviously you focus on one thing. Now, actually, here we go. Here's like an elevator question. So let's say I bump into you where I'm staying at the elevator, and it's like, oh my God, you're the famous Michael Fenech, and you're the AI guy, right? And
don't know about famous, but
well, we'll go with it. And so get into the elevator. I only got 30 seconds, so I have to get out. And it's like, I'm a business owner, and or the other person in the lift works in a business. Like, what's the one key piece of advice when it comes to how I should engage with AI?
I would say if you're a business owner, get a pen and paper, and I want you to track the customer journey of a customer through your business.
Yeah.
And you got to track every human interaction with that customer and that'll quickly work out where the human decision needs to be made, where the human handoff, where the data transfer is, and all your bottlenecks will show like magic.
Yeah.
And then you'll know where to apply AI to allow your staff to reach their potential.
Yeah. Great
because
advice.
You've got no idea with what we've seen. You've got Slack, you've got Google Sheets, you've got Discord, all different tools. So where's the central source of truth? Right?
Yeah.
So when you track it, so sales comes in, the phone number, I have to put it into the CRM. Then I talk to the salesperson to ring them. There's like human stuff happening.
Yeah.
Right? If you can trace that journey from lead to sold and actually take the time to work out the manual bottlenecks, it'll stick out like a sore thumb and you'll go, wow.
Yeah. Okay.
But running a business is tough. So businesses are just doing deals. They might not have the time to do that. But honestly, I really recommend it.
Yeah. And I'd layer on top of that, what's the value that you're providing along that journey? Like, so
absolutely.
And is there a way that you can add more value? Maybe just in the delivery, the delivery side, once it's sold, that could be the focus of the AI.
That's a really good point you've brought up, because if you're now freeing up staff from the manual bottlenecks that you've uncovered, potentially your onboarding team can go up a level.
Yeah.
Handhold a little bit better.
Yeah.
Lifetime value because of that handholding increases.
Correct.
So that's a very good point you've brought up, because look, at the end of the day, business is tough and you've got to be as efficient as possible. Yeah. And we're fortunate that AI can allow us to do that. Yeah. And again, my hat's off to you with what you're doing with your internal systems. And I was blown away. And I don't say that lightly. So Mate, hats off to you. I'll ask you for some advice soon.
You tell Steve that as well. That's good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, this has been awesome. And look, and how can people best follow you or connect with you?
Yeah, so Instagram at Michael Fenech, M-I-C-H-A-L.
Show notes as well.
Also on TikTok as well, Michael.Fenech. LinkedIn, you can follow me. I'm not very good apparently at TikTok. And then sort of email Michael at SnipeRate.com. If anyone wants to sort of have a chat about that and dive in deep there, let's go and let's do some shipments and just show you what the power of AI is. And if anyone needs help in general, just reach out.
That's great. Well, Michael, it's been awesome talking to you, and I just love that problem-solving mindset. And if we could all take some of that, then that's been time well spent. So thanks so much.
No, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope people got value out of it. Yeah, thank you.
100%.
Awesome. Thanks, mate.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode there with Michael Fenech, and you can see what an amazing character he is and his knowledge and perspective he's got there. And hopefully it opened your eyes up to what is possible when it comes to AI and your logistics in particular. So and I hope you enjoyed that. And again, just a reminder, the Amazon Marketing Cloud Masterclass is coming up on August the 13th at 11 a.m. So make sure you have a look in the show notes there to register your place on that event. It'll be fantastic. You can learn the new rules of how to win on Amazon with the Amazon ads. All right, and we'll see you on the next episode. All the best.